Well, I saw a bunch of other drama, not the hat stuff.
So much fun drama, I guess. If I had known there was that much drama in sports, I might participate.
Oh my God, it is pretty crazy. Like uh basically this is the first year that Lewis Hamilton has been challenged, like legitimately challenged for the World Driving Championship, which obviously is like their
Wow.
Stanley Cup, and it's been the first time that that's been the case since like 2014. That's how like dominant Mercedes has been in Formula One, and uh, today was the first time they raced at a new track. Saudi Arabia built it like specifically for this race, and there's just like a lot of people crashing into walls.
Oh wow.
Um, there were five DNFs, so did not finish, and then on top of that, like there was a lot of ongoing crap between Lewis Hamilton and the driver he's now tied with, Max Verstappen, and like the public is very divided on who is the better driver and or who should win.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
so it's been crazy. I think the best way to put it is if you have Netflix, and I'm not sponsored, so you know whatever. If anybody is ends up watching this, uh, watch Drive to Survive. It's
Drive
basically
to Survive.
Yeah, it's basically a Netflix crew follows F1, and like every week or whatever, they go to a different team and they sort of record and capture stuff from their viewpoint, whatever. And then they turn it into a show. So you've got like whatever the dramas and whatever of that year is condensed into like a 8 episode season or something.
So okay, all right. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So I looked it up. He wore a Pride helmet. I don't know how I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, that makes sense then. Like if it's his helmet specifically, then yeah, he's Lewis is a very big proponent of LGBTQ, equal rights, and so on.
Well, it's kind of gutsy to wear that in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, it's pretty gutsy to kind of associate it with it anywhere, not specifically LGBTQ. Uh, More that like, when there was all that turmoil in the states over like the shooting of Breonna Taylor, and all the other shit that happened last year specifically, among other stuff. You know, he's one of the more vocal drivers. On top of being, black and the best driver ever. So
He, he sounds like my kind of guy. So did he win today or?
yeah, and that's why it's so dramatic too. So they've essentially been uh there's been a lot of stress between both Red Bull Racing and Mercedes, because if Lewis wins this year, he will be the undisputed greatest of all time, because right now he's tied with Michael Schumacher for World Driving Championships at 7. So if he wins this year, he will. There's like there's so few stats that he would not be first on, that there's no way. Like it's like watching a Gretzky or Crosby or what's like I don't know too many other sports to like compare to Hakuho and sumo wrestling. It's watching a prodigy just like win. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not into sports, but I'm feeling your passion, which is kind of fun.
I like to think I bring that passion to ASL as well. So
Well, I think I'm gonna need some of that passion because I'm looking at my situation here and I'm feeling a little bit feeling like I'm 3 or 4 hexes behind where I should be. So
um hmm
So we'll see how it goes.
Let me see here. We got two, three, four, five, six. There's 6 turns to go. Uh, so
I'd like to be like in the
one,
V hex row. So
two,
let me see if I can't rectify
three,
that.
four. I think you're fine.
It'll be interesting, I think.
I think if this was turn 5, I definitely agree with you. Or at least
This
like,
is turn 5. I'd concede.
hmm, I think that'd be a little hasty, but
If there's one thing I will do quickly, it's concede. That's not even
unless
true. I usually play it out. All right, are we ready?
I am ready. I believe you didn't roll for wind. Yeah, no weather roll.
No, yeah, we didn't do anything. So let's roll. There's
7, no
no wind.
change.
I
Rats.
have no. Actually, I think I do. I have a broken machine gun somewhere.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I have a
Z7.
broken machine. All right. It is not repaired.
And I
I
have
think that's my
nothing to do.
only rally activity.
Yeah, same.
So you're done too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Off the prep.
So do we resolve this FFE too?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
uh, just pull that up.
I don't wish to cancel. I do have line of sight,
All right.
right?
So if was
I
FFE2,
do have line of
don't
sight
wish.
to the blast site and to a location that does or did contain to him a known enemy unit.
So
So yeah,
do
he
you?
can see that hex.
Uh,
Well, so he
uh,
doesn't. Well, no, he sees above. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
you
he's
can
he can see.
you can see it because or at least I'm pretty sure because I think the line of sight, even though there's an orchard in the way, I think it's the same with like obstacles and being able to see over them. So I think that's fine because there's one, two, three, four, 5 hexes, so you should be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
I don't wish to move or correct it. Right.
if not, blast blah, blah. Okay, no. Does observer have line of sight to blast height? Absolutely. Uh, so if not, does the observer have LOS to the blast height and to a location in adjacent to an FFE hex that does or did contain to him during the FFE's current fire mission? I believe. Oh, that might be
Your
an.
machine gun is known to him. Your machine gun is known to him.
Oh yeah. Because you can see on the upper floor. Yes. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So that's a yes. So we're
yeah,
in the far left-hand column, right?
correct. So if you wish to move it, we can go into another thing. If no, it goes straight to FFE2, which it already is right now, and then you resolve it. So
So
if you
let's resolve it.
okay, so same thing as before. You do your 2 die roll, and you obviously picking the order of the 7 hexes that are affected.
Okay, we'll do the center, and
Okay,
then we'll go to 12 o'clock, and then just go around the clock.
okay,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 die rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
all right. 6. We're still on. That's not the right thing. We are still on IIFT. It's 70 millimeters, so we are looking at a 12 firepower. It's going to be a building, so +2. It's on a upper level, so +3 total, which means it's a 9 on 12, which is an NMC.
Right.
Raw check. Leader breaks. The squad is fine, and then they take a task check, which they pass. Uh, so,
Okay.
so the leader's broken. We'll just put them underneath. And then 11 won't do anything to the roads. 7 won't do anything. 6 to open ground. No, because I think it's all KIAs. Then a 6 there. 11. No. So that's it.
So we just broke them. I can live with that. All right.
So then it gets flipped to FFEC, and I believe, and the red markers will stay there because it's still technically resolving for this turn, I believe, and then it'll go away at the end of this
Okay.
turn. So basically, just means don't run anybody through there because that's a bad idea.
All right, because it's what 12 residual.
Uh, um, so I forget if the residual is full firepower or half, but we can
It's
check
a
it
lot
if
either way.
yeah, if anybody runs through there, we'll check. I have a
I
feeling like
can't
it's
imagine that
half.
I'm going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay. Do I have any prep fire? I might. Hmm. Hmm. So
Oh,
we'll
I
take a
guess
shot.
technically we should have done contact. I guess.
Oh shoot! Yeah, yeah, you're right. Undm your guy. Well, let's see.
Well, I'll just do it
8.
and
No,
whatever.
no, I'm good.
Yeah,
Holding 8.
because there's a -2 to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it says is radio contact established or maintained. Yes, is SR or FFE2 resolved on board? If so, then you go to that column. So
Yeah. So we're
that's
good. Okay.
yeah.
Um, I think here to here.
Okay. This is an area
So
or
let's
infantry target type.
uh, let's see.
I think it'd be. I forget if it's have twice on a concealed. Actually, no, it's not have twice.
No, it's just +2 for firing on a concealed unit. So we'll do
Yeah.
infantry
So infantry
+2.
+4 total.
A +4 for the 2 for the foxhole.
Yeah. 2 for foxhole. 2 for that. Oh, +1 for buttoned up. Um, I think that's it
That's
though.
5. Or I can fire on the area, and then you'll get +2 on the resolution.
I forget how that works.
Right? Does it area target type? You go to the. It's +2 on the resolution of the attack.
I feel like you're right. It's been a long time since I did area target type with a vehicle.
The halved and halved. No, let's shoot.
Well, I already
Let's shoot
rolled
and do
an
math
8.
later.
Oh no, wait, sorry, that was
No,
for
no,
the
that
other
was
thing.
that was my
Yeah.
contact roll. Yeah, yeah,
So that'll be
yeah.
1 up. So unfortunately, miss.
Okay, that is rate of fire.
No hack because they're concealed.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's the one saving grace
Um,
of concealment.
hmm. Let's shoot again. Okay.
You were shooting with.
The guy marked with a prep fire.
Oh, it's weird because you did it to hit and then IFT.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and your tank doesn't have rate.
He's. Oh, I was looking at the completely wrong thing. I apologize.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
apologize.
It's
I was
fine.
looking at this one here.
If you'd gotten a result, I'd be like, we're gonna have to scrap that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, that is all my prep fire.
Okay.
Go to movement here. Let's start with the easy moves. 1, 2.
All right. I'm going to. I think I claim wall advantage here. These will go away. They're fake. And I will be shooting with V6. Um, I don't. I don't think you called assault move. Uh,
I did not. No.
so it'll be a 6 down 2.
Ooh.
216, 1K. Let me see if
See, you got
well,
some casualty points there.
yeah. I'm also very curious right now, and I want to make sure I'm getting this right because I forget if I claimed it properly last time. Claim if it's armed and broken. Because I if I claim it, I don't think you get the wall.
Only one of us can have the wall.
Yeah, and I was there first, so like the way I'm looking at it is I was there, you moved into the adjacent hex, so I claim the wall and I shoot, and I assume that's valid.
Um, the wall advantage section is like 6 pages long, so if you want to look at it, we can. Otherwise, I'm happy to move on.
Okay. At worst,
I am
I'll
happy
keep
to move
reading
on.
and
Okay, so they are first fired, yes?
yes, the air first fire, and that will
Okay,
be a 2 firepower residual.
okay. They will assault move there for 2.
I'll subsequent, and it's a +2, yeah, for
+2,
lumberyard.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god. So that is coward, but a +2, so 4 on 1. Normal morale.
Oh, passed.
Pass. Also, another thing I learned that's super important. Um, Leaders only prevent cowering in their own hex, or own location. I learned that over the past week.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So if you were to do a huge doom stack, you still technically cower, and then you have to do random die selection to figure out who cowers and who doesn't.
Yeah, if you're yeah, right. So if you're talking about like a multi-location fire group,
Yeah.
yeah, that would always be the case, wouldn't it?
Well, I always assume that if you had a leader, if a leader was part of a fire group, then the fire group just doesn't cower. But that is extremely
No,
not the
it's
case.
the leader direction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The leader direction. So
No,
there's
like it's
one residual there, right?
no, because I cowered, so it would have been 3
Oh,
down to
that's
1.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that you advance there in the advance phase, and then I just like light you and my squad up. Just completely trounce everybody.
I mean, you did okay. I'm not complaining.
My guys are just bloodthirsty. It's fine.
I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, I'm just too far back. Um, all right, he will start for 1,
Okay.
2,
Hmm.
3,
Okay.
4, 5,
Okay.
6, 7.
Wouldn't it just be 6?
To do an overrun, it's a quarter of your movement factor, so
Oh,
it'd be
gotcha,
2.
gotcha. Okay, you're doing overrun. All right. Well, I don't think I can do too much because I'm already final fired. Where's my chart stuff? I need that
So it's
overrun
it's
and
it's
it.
halved for bounding fire, and then it's tripled, right? And
I
it's
forget.
firepower of 2 because it's an
Oh,
AFB.
overrun flowchart. Vehicle prepares to enter defender's location. If the location contains any known enemy units, any overrun must be declared before entering. In overrun, a vehicle must have branding first fire. Fully tracked, yada yada. Take one combined Patsy using the morale, lowest morale of the stack. So they are not SMC, they're not Berserk, not Fnatic or IJA. They are non-elite Guomindang Chinese, so I take a one up one, so they barely pass, thank God. So they're not pin. Terrain effect
It's
check
a
for
1 patsy.
yeah, but their morale is 7. Roll the 6.
So you rolled +1 is 7, so it doesn't pin them.
No, because if it was a morale
Okay,
check, then yeah, it would pin. Um,
got it.
so defensive first fire. There's no reason for me to do defensive first fire, especially since I'm finaled. So the overrun is going to occur. Uh, yeah, because I would need CC reaction fire. Resolve overrun. So versus unarmored units, firepower base equals 4 because it's an AFE. Uh,
Okay.
plus 1.5 times usable MG plus IFE plus passengers and have for those passengers. So it's 4. So times 3 divided by 2, so 6. Um, I think. So I'm reading 10 firepower.
Okay.
Are
I don't
you.
have a cool overrun. I don't have a cool overrun flowchart, so.
It's in the D chapter. Or at least it should be one of your D chapter separators.
Okay. Back to the book here.
Overrun DRMs. Armor leader, passenger leader, TM, there's none. Smoke, -1 if infantry cav in open ground, which this will definitely be that. It says wall, but I can't imagine that's wall anywhere in Hex. So,
I can't believe you get the wall here. No.
yeah, that'd be weird. +2 DRM for motion vehicle targets and their vuln. Oh, okay, that does not apply.
We're not a motion vehicle.
Yeah, so I think it's a
So it's a
10 down 1, I believe.
all right. Oof.
All right, 3 on 10. Pretty sure you can't cower. 3 on 10 is a K3. So this guy's gonna get half squatted. Oh, I did that wrong too. This. There. So these guys are half squatted, and then 3 morale. Wow, they pin. Talk about a hero squad. Um, I can then do CC reaction fire. Uh, okay, CC reaction. I don't think I can get anything useful out of that, anyways. But
Can you or do you have to?
I think it's a can I rather than a must I.
Is this a triple point blank fire kind of thing? I'm
No,
asking. I have no idea.
this would be like the actual CC table.
Oh no, no, no. I know. But triple point blank is not a May, right? Is that what I do
Uh,
as your hex? But close combat reaction fire is a May, so it's A 11.5.
yeah, but it uses the close combat values, not it's not firepower. Yeah.
Correct.
Um,
So
so
your half squad is a 3,
half squad.
and
Half squad is
it's
3.
+1 for being pinned,
We believe so.
or -1 for being pinned. So it's a 2.
Versus motion nonstop.
You have to.
Technically, you're in motion, so that'd be a +2. Partially mobile. No, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way. I would need a 2 and your motion with a +2. I would have to no. So, okay.
And I will delay 1 and remain in motion.
You can't you we'll say you just called all your remaining movement factors to get in because otherwise you'd have to stop.
Okay.
Because you can never delay to remain in motion. Oops. Also, do you know if overrunning leaves residual? I imagine no.
Well, I'm not. I mean,
I
it's founding fire. Founding fire never leaves residual,
Oh, okay.
right?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I was kind of wondering if there's like this weird thing I might have missed where because it's the only shot that the attacker can make during the movement phase. So it'd be kind of funny if the attacker could put residual.
Oh man, my brain is not prepared for 2 kinds of residual.
No, it'd be the
That
same
would
kind of
be
residual, but
the
it,
literal end of my brain. Um, hmm, it's 4. Okay, this squad here is gonna
okay.
go 1,
Okay.
2,
Hmm.
3, 4.
All right. I don't think you leave me much of a choice. So I will do. Um, this stack will reveal and shoot.
Okay,
So it is a 10 firepower, non assault movement, and leader is -2, +2 for building. So 10 flat. 8 on 10. Should be a normal morale. 10,
okay.
8, yeah, normal morale check.
Pins.
All right, I'll take. I did not get rate, and I will leave for residual.
This squad will go 1,
Okay,
2, 3.
I will subsequent. So it's going to be 5 firepower. Um, I guess technically I can't claim wall advantage. Uh,
No, you have TEM.
yeah, well, just because I'm in the building. I think I could technically claim it, but whatever. So it'll be the same thing, 5 flat, because -1 for building or for leader, -1 for non-assault movement. So 5 on 5 is going to be a 1 MC.
Where's the button? There it is. Right.
Strike. Right.
Or no, stripes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So this squad here will go 1.
Mm-hmm.
Bypass the woods for 2 to here.
Uh, so you're in that hex. Okay.
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Uh, so they're fake, and as you get in there, who do I want to shoot you with? They're striped. I will reveal these guys. They're going to shoot as a 6 flat for non-assault movement and +1 for woods. They're going to absolutely cower. And in light of that, these guys are going to shoot
Just saying that.
as a same shot. So 6 flat, 8 on 6, I think is a PTC. Yeah,
Okay. Pass.
passes. And they will leave 2.
One, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Okay. So are we in melee now? Is this building
No, you're not in any of my hexes.
is the tank and the sorry, is the tank and the half squad in melee?
Uh, Technically, I think they would be held in CC. Because I use CC. Well, I didn't use CC reaction fire, but
You didn't.
I just want to check because I think it might be held in CC, or they would have to be in CC. Uh,
Well,
Regardless,
I don't think that the tank is not held in CC. The tank can leave whenever it wants, but
so it's held in
the
melee
unit
is
can't.
the thing.
Well, no, actually, my question is if I move a unit into that hex, or can I even move an infantry unit into that hex? Or am
Uh,
I reinforcing a close combat, or
you would have to. I believe you'd have to enter in the advance. I don't think you can
have to
walk in there.
advance in? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we'll ignore that hex then. Let's see.
Where is that? Oh, it said unbroken or unpinned, so I wouldn't even be able to do CC reaction.
Ugh. It's all junk options here. Two, I love the way residual completely changes your game. It's one
Yeah.
of the most fun things about this game is just how dynamic it is,
Hmm.
how the situations are constantly changing.
I think it's one of those things that new players also struggle a lot with. Is trying to figure out like where do you leave residual? How do you leave it? Once you
Yeah,
get
totally.
once you get those mechanics down, it serves you for a very long time.
All right. He's gonna start for one. Uh, go 2, 3,
Okay.
4,
Mm-hmm.
5,
Okay.
6, 7,
Okay.
or 6. Well, yeah, 6, 7. Stop for 8.
Um. Okay.
He's gonna go 1,
Okay.
2,
Mm-hmm.
3.
Uh. Sure. Why not? I'll reveal. 6 firepower against them. It's +1 for vehicle, -1 for non-assault movement, and I think the vehicle cancels out open ground. Jesus,
Ooh.
these dice. Now it's this game that my dice are activated. So to cower, they're not conscripts, so they cower to 4, and it'll be a K2, which I guess kills me.
Yeah.
And 2 residual.
Okay. Can live with that. All right.
Jesus.
1,
Okay.
2,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
3.
All right. 2.
Oh my Lord Jesus.
Um, I think that's just flat. I forget if vehicles count for residual.
I'm sure they do. It's the
Yeah.
TEM of the place. So it's a K2.
Uh,
So he's a
any applicable
striped half squad.
FFMO, FFNAM, DRM.
So
Wait,
he's a
therefore any unit gets
striped half
one.
squad, right?
Hold on. Does it no more than one? Uh, TM. Where's the effective? Where is it? All non-hexide TM and smoke of the target location apply to residual attack. Okay, that's what I was curious about. So that was a 3-on-2, I think. Yeah, 3-on-2, which is a 1 MC.
Okay. Oops. That's an IFT. So he stripes.
Okay. Um, Now do I want to cause more bloodshed? And I think I'm going to say no. Also, wait. Does sniper activate on SAN or SAN on residual? I
I don't see
guess
why it wouldn't.
technically, yeah. Uh,
All right.
Residual. Does it say residual?
It's irrelevant. Irrelevant for now. I rolled a 6.
Yeah. Cool. A lot of people joining our game and then leaving. I take offense
Uh-oh.
to that.
Are we not being interesting enough?
Apparently not. Apparently all this residual and final fire counters is just whatever.
Let's talk more about gay rights in Saudi Arabia. That'll be fun.
I'm the biggest ASL player and also Lewis Hamilton supporter. That's there. That's my claim to fame.
I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, I like I said, I don't know much about him. I think it's cool. I don't know. What?
Hmm.
Man, do not like how this is playing out. But that's okay. All right. One, two, three, four. This squad is gonna CX and go here for one,
Okay.
two,
Okay.
three,
Hmm.
4, 5.
All right. I will shoot again with these guys. That will not be anything. Um, three halved to one. Unless I cowered. I did cower. Damn it.
Um, this squad will also CX one,
Mm-hmm.
two,
Mm-hmm.
3,
Yep.
4, 5.
Well, that's just not nice.
No fire.
No, can't shoot with anybody
You
else.
absolutely can. One.
Nah. Final protective
He's
is
also
later.
C. He's
Yep.
also CXing. Two,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Mm, 4. So many. This squad is gonna go. Gonna CX. Go there for one.
Both of them? Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's just one squad. Hold on. Eesh, that's was free. Oh. One,
Two
two,
to get there, and three to get there. Because of the wall.
2. You're right. 3. Yep.
Uh,
That's why I CX'd. 4,
okay.
5.
All right. Two firepower shot. That'll be nothing, I don't think. No. Okay, he's good.
Okay. They're gonna go 1, 2,
Okay.
3,
Okay.
4,
Mm-hmm.
5, 6.
All right. Taking a two firepower shot. Residual can't cower. Um, Do you go non-hex side, so you don't get the wall. And it'll be wait, if you don't get the wall, is it still does it count for open ground then? Yeah, eh?
I don't know.
I think so. Bypass. That's not what I'm looking for. So it'll be 6. It'll be down 1 for non-assault movement. I think down 1 for open ground because you don't get hex side TM. So 4 on 2, which is a 1 MC.
Okay. Leader squad. Oof.
Yeah. And as a casualty MC, Jesus.
But the
Uh,
9-1 made it.
you can claim the LMG. Was it? Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
right.
right. That is the broken.
I think I claimed the broken LMG.
Yeah, I forget if you have to. I don't think you have to roll for it. I don't know why I'm thinking you
I
can
don't.
or have to. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you do. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Recovery.
Mm.
Only a SMC can recover a sport weapon gun possessed by a friendly broken unit, and does this by rolling recovery units. If a unit surrenders or is eliminated or runs away and cannot carry, can immediately recover one of that infantry unit's weapons in the same manner. Okay, so you have to roll for it and just go under 6. I thought it was automatic.
Mm.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. This poor squad. He's gonna lose his CX and go 1, 2,
Okay,
3, 4.
okay.
This squad. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man. 1, 2. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Got a giant stack to move here. 1, 2. Okay. This stack minus the truck is going to go. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. 1,
Okay.
2,
Mm-hmm.
3.
Okay.
4,
Okay.
5, 6.
Sounds good.
This guy's back here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7.
What?
This is
One,
brush.
2, 3. Oh, yeah, there's a tank in the way. We'll stop here then for 5. Sorry.
Unless you want to go to X8, it's always still one. If you want to maximize distance
Oh,
there.
that's true. Oh, good call. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that means you'll take it lightly on me when I'm forced to surrender. Yeah, I won't be the first to be executed, you know?
I don't know, man. Is no quarter in effect by
No,
SSR?
I don't think so. Or at least if it's in effect, it's not automatic. It's something we would have to invoke.
Okay. Mm, So many of these stupid trucks.
Can you sacrifice before?
Uh, I mean, should I just do it? I don't even know. 1, 2, 3. I gotta break out my red barricades rules. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
What is the TEM for a
For
storage tank? Or what is the movement cost for a storage tank? A vehicle storage tank.
towers. B20 B34. Movement.
The
Vehicles must
storage
use
tank, isn't it?
there are towers in this. If you look at the Into the Rubble rules,
Into the Rubble rule says that they're storage tanks.
those ones, no, they should be towers. Let's double check.
Let me pull out the Into the Rubble rules because I did that.
I'm gonna pull out my
Crucible of Steel.
Armored Samurai. See Into the Rubble HBR. Then if I check HBR,
Oh, the brown ones are towers. The
I think
gray ones are tanks. Okay.
large round bronze
Yeah.
structure tower. Blah.
Yeah. So the brown ones, so U6 is a tower and W3 is a tank.
Uh, U6 is a tower and W3 is a tank. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess it depends on which one you're trying to go through.
So vehicles can use bypass to enter there.
Correct. Um, if it's a tower, it must use VBM. Uh,
Oh, shoot.
yeah, and I guess because it's VBM, it's automatic too.
All right. All right, this guy here is going to roll for reliability, and he starts
Damn.
for 1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
Yep.
3, 4,
Okay. And I can't do
and
residual against them. It's not crew exposed.
and we will stop. See, in that my Discord is
Uh,
getting so
you
crowded.
started for one, in there for
1,
two,
2, 3,
four.
4.
Yeah. Okay.
All these useless ass trucks. What am I supposed to do with these useless, stupid trucks?
I mean, 6 firepower each is pretty good.
There's just no place for them.
Hmm.
I mean, it is pretty good. And they've got all the movement points I could ever want.
I agree, and slightly disagree, I guess. Like right now, things are so congested that I definitely agree that it's hard to make use of them. Um, Once you get into the back half of the map, though, if the Chinese player isn't careful, then you can easily do stuff to cut off routes and just be a nuisance. And especially like just laying down a shit ton of residual fire to make it impossible for the Chinese to like get back.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. All right, this guy here is going to change his covered arc for 1,
Okay.
2.
Reliability.
He's in motion.
Oh, sorry. Yes, right. 4.
That was 1, 4. Um, hmm, 5.
Okay.
And now begins the parade of nonsense.
We'll get the ice cream truck music.
Yeah, exactly. Do I even do with you? Okay. Let's think about this. 1, 2, 3. I know all your viewers came here to listen to me hum. That might be
Yes.
fun. Or silently count to 26. Maybe not so silently. Just keep counting.
Oh, you know what? God, how did I forget that? That's why I forgot to put on the backup music. There we go. Now people can listen to gunshots and explosions in the background.
I do feel like that's an improvement over my humming. The sounds of human misery are best approximated.
See, I never put in uh, death screams or anything like that.
Well,
I have to think about my
I
own
can't.
sanity
Well,
too in this.
that's fair enough. uh, Giving you so many options, so many things to shoot at, which is fine. All right. This truck here is going to start for 19. 22, 24. All right. Uh, Covered arc change for, I don't know, we'll be there for 20. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 22, 25, 23, 24, 25, and stop.
Okay.
5, 24, 23, 22, 21. So start for 1. Covered art change for 2. There for 19 or something. Start for 1. Covered art change for 2. There for 20.
Okay.
21. 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 21.
Mm-hmm.
22. 23. 24. 25. And stop.
Okay.
Hmm. This one's here. What? What just happened? No one prep fired, y'all. Okay. This fella here is gonna start for 1. Turn the wrong way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Uh,
8.
uh, 1 sec, because you were doing that in brush, right?
Oh shoot! Yeah. Brush is
Brush is
4,
6.
6 for a truck.
Yeah. So instead of
Okay.
the 3 hex sides you did or whatever, 2. So you'd be at
Yeah. So that's
so start
12,
then
13.
12, 13, 14. You'd
So
have
here
to.
for 15, 16,
I think
right?
so, because you'd have to turn again. So start, turn twice, 13, 14, turn 16. Yeah, here you're there for 16.
Yeah. 17,
Mm-hmm.
18,
Mm-hmm.
24. Wrong way.
Okay.
25
Mm-hmm.
and stop.
Okay.
He's going to turn for 1,
Mm-hmm.
20,
Mm-hmm.
22, 23, 24,
Yeah.
25, and stop.
Okay.
This is madness. Absolute madness. I don't even know what the point of any of this is anymore. 1, 2, 3,
It's
4.
to lay down so much fire on one dude, they have to die. They just auto die.
That'd be fun. He'll start for 1, turn for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, 25. Well, 23, 24, 25. Stop for 26.
Okay.
For Christ's sake, that's finally finished. That's my movement phase. It is your turn.
All right. I need to. I keep needing to check something here. Turn the heat of the fire above the base level of this Linux. Okay. I think I thus know the difference there. Cool. Um, well, first and foremost, T7 is going to reveal itself, and they will shoot at your guys in the open. Also, we'll take off all the residual. There we go. So, straight line, which also means that the one level above decreases the wall by 1, if I understand it correctly.
Okay.
So, so it's still +1 on 5. That is not going to do anything. I should mark it as final fire and not first fire.
You didn't break the machine guns.
Nope, 10. Pretty sure it's 11. Yeah,
No, you didn't break the machine gun. You did not.
yeah. I
But
got
you came
lucky.
close.
I got very lucky. Um, those guys are final fired and pinned and CC. The guys in the foxhole will shoot at the adjacent guys. So it will be a 3 firepower up 1, I believe.
Okay.
8 on 3, I'm pretty sure is nothing. Hmm.
Even read this. Yeah, it's nothing.
So that is treated exactly like wood. but it's a really juicy target.
I left you one right there in the center there.
You left me two, actually three good targets. It's just a matter of like which one do I want to take advantage of. And I think right now I'm leaning towards this. So my HMG is going to
Yep.
shoot at them. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure it's a straight line. Um, they have the lumberyard, so +2. I don't have any
Yep.
modifiers, just a 6 up 2. That will not do anything, I don't think. 10 on 6, nope. I do have rate of fire. I will cower at that point, but a 10 on 6 is still nothing. Um, 1, 2, 3. You know what? Let's try. T6 will shoot at same target. I think that's fine. Um, there's going to be. Oh, no, wait. They're in motion, so they don't provide a +1 for hindrance. So it'll be a 3 up 2. That's nothing. And just for the hell of it, I might as well. Over
Show
here,
me that machine gun.
there is an HMG. They are
Yep.
shooting there. There's a +1 for the vehicle. Otherwise, it's a 6. Obviously, that was going to happen.
Now we're talking.
No, we're not talking. We're no longer talking.
Are we
Um,
done? Is that it? Are we not talking anymore? Are we
no,
beefing,
our
Shogo?
our friendship is over. My new best friend is
Oh.
random.org, not Vassal Dice Bot. And your advancing fire.
Oh, there's gonna be so much of that. I'm gonna
Man, look at
lose
all those
track.
counters suddenly disappear.
All right.
As if 1,000 defensive first fires were suddenly silenced.
Oh, are we quoting movies now? I'm terrible at this game.
You see, the fun part is you just make up quotes. You're
You
just like,
quote
oh,
Broadway
you
shows. Does
haven't
that
seen
count?
extremely obscure one showing only.
All right.
You just tell people, it's
Uh,
a Swedish translation of a movie. You wouldn't get it.
Terrible movie, anyway. He is gonna shoot his machine guns here.
Okay.
So it's halved for advancing, doubled for point blank. The
Yeah.
4 up 2.
Mm-hmm.
6 on the 4.
More.
NNC.
Had to happen.
Hey. Let's get this on. Well, that changes things a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Let's go down to this mess on the bottom of the board here. It's +2. That's +2.
I guess the only question I would have is, can they shoot over that?
So I think we'll have a fire group here, here, here. Probably here too. I don't see that it's gonna get much better. Oh, actually. Oh, man. Let's see. 2, 4, 7.5, 8.5. 9, I guess. I really do like the thought of getting rid of that leader. Oh, and I think I can put, like, I'm pretty sure, like, this is all a fire group.
Yeah. I mean, they're all
They all have
continuous.
line of.
Whether they all have line of sight or not is different.
Well, that guy's got line of sight. That's down the hex side. That's next to him. He has line of sight.
Yeah, like they should
Um,
have it. I'm just saying. That's the only real consideration at the end of the day. Since they're all, it's once it's a continuous group or whatever, that's something that really matters.
he's got line of sight. Yeah, they all do. Is that what I want to do? Hmm, that's an interesting question.
I mean, look, it's either the one time you roll Snake Eyes or it's the one time you roll 12.
And then I have to make 47 random selection die rolls.
All right, who cowers?
Which one of you broke your machine gun?
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
I guess technically you'd only roll for machine gun breaks, but
do I want to do anything else? I don't think I do. I like the thought of getting rid of that leader. Hmm. Okay. Uh, so I think that's what we're gonna do. I think. I can't. I don't have a strong reason to not like that plan. All right. Um. So here is gonna be
four.
have them doubled, so we're at 4. Here is 1, 2.5, 3,
Let's calculate this. So 4,
4.
and I'm gonna calculate that, which
Actually,
is
they're not going to be in it. They're not going to be in it.
who?
Never mind them.
Who's they?
This stack is not participating.
Okay, so 4,
Um,
5.5. That would be another 2, so 7.5. These guys are 2, so 9.5. And then the other big stack is 4.
another
Actually,
3.5,
so that'd
right?
be 3, 5, 10, 5. So 14.5 is what I would calculate.
So it's a 14 up 2.
I think it would be because that's 5, 10, half to 5. Yeah, I think that's correct.
All right, let's see what happens. Oof.
So 14 up
So
2,
it's a 6 on the 14.
2
It's a
MC.
2 MC.
Leader passes, squad will break.
Let me get out some advanced fire counters.
That actually gonna save those guys, so thank you.
I'm good. I'm good with it. Either need you broken or out of the way. This squad will go ahead and shoot into here,
Okay.
or that stack. Excuse me. 7, 8, 9. Line up 3.
Shouldn't it be up 2?
There's CX.
Yes, but it's woods.
Oh, you're right. Line up 2. Sorry. Uh,
Coward.
8.
Coward
The
to
coward to the 8
6.
from the 9 is so confusing.
Yeah, because
It's no effect anyway.
when you cower, you always go down to the next. You automatically take the red line, and then you go down from that.
I trust you. Just tell me what's what. I'll be
Well,
good, I promise.
10 on 8 is, or 10 on 6 is this.
Yeah, no effect. No effect. Let's see. I just keep shooting. Finished. So he'll take a 3 up 2 into here,
Okay.
I guess. It's no effect. Hmm. This vehicle here will take a 2 up 2 to here.
Okay.
That's a 5 on the 2.
Yep. NMC. And against the other guy, it would be a pin test check, I think. Yep. So NMC for the crew. They pass. Test check. Other guy's pinned.
Okay.
Oh, I should put them because they're not both pinned.
And roll your sand. Roll your sniper.
God damn it.
That was the vehicle. So the squads will do. The squads in that hex will do this 6-3 up 3 to the same location. That's no effect. Um, that's not going to do anything. I guess we'll take a 3 up 2 into here.
Okay.
That's no effect. And I think we're going to call it good there. All done.
Right. That's interesting that it would be marked that way, but okay. Probably during the phase only. That's rain. Alright, because it's routes and attacker first, so I don't think you have anything.
I have nothing broken.
Yeah, okay. So, here's where things are going to get interesting. Um, so, my guy in the foxhole can technically route away.
It's his option. He's got 1 hex he can route to.
Uh, because the vehicle, I believe, becomes a obstacle. Because if I understand it correctly, I should be allowed to route to U4. I just have to go through artillery to do so.
Um, you have to route to U5 first. That's your only hex.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for
Right.
sure. But I'm just saying, like, my target has to be U4, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the
Well,
closest building. It's not closer.
yeah.
It's actually ignorable if you want.
I mean, it won't really matter because I have to go through U5 anyways. Um, Now, the question is also attacks each unit stack that's changing position, becoming more vulnerable. New DR is made. FFMO, FFNAM can apply during the movement phase only. No terrain. No terrain, fortifications, or other units. So when you're making the attack, nothing else gets affected. I think because there's a wall. Oh, there is no wall. Never mind. So it would just be an attack. Uh,
Oh, it's interdiction too, isn't it?
yeah, it's considered interdiction. So, um,
It's interdiction and residual, right? Like,
no, I think it just counts for interdiction in this case because I don't know if anybody has like wouldn't the vehicle in V6 have an effect
it's in
on
motion. It's in motion. It has no effect.
even I thought even after motion you'd still get it.
An in motion vehicle is never a TEM or never an
Never?
obstacle.
Okay. I thought they became
I mean, that's my
hindrances.
understanding.
I thought they became hindrances after a certain point.
If well, we can look it up. Maybe it's just not a hindrance in the movement phase. I mean, I'd buy that.
Yeah, would have been my understanding, but um, there's AFE. Why would that only be there? Red through hex team 9.
2.4.
Yeah. So, um, if that AFV wreck would be subject to hit case J, a stopped AFV or wreck which had moved was in motion during the current player turn move phase nonetheless presents was which had moved or was in motion because it
Yeah, he's still in
presents
motion.
yeah it presents an advanced fair phase anti motion is only if hindrance yeah
So you're being interdicted and you're going through an FFE, right?
correct because I don't think I can go anywhere else and I'd rather try to survive two dice rolls than just give you two CVP captured
Well,
or
but
otherwise
you can't. So you're adjacent to a known enemy unit and you're routing away facing interdiction. So you have to surrender.
right.
Now, the question is, do I want to accept? Huh. Yeah, we'll take him.
Who will take him?
Well, oh God. Yeah, that's another good question. So if I don't accept, if I declare no quarter, then you can route away facing interdiction.
Under any circumstances, yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to declare no quarter.
Okay.
That saves me from massacring them later, which would just be in bad taste.
Uh,
That's not to say I wouldn't do it, but
tree. Where's the quarter? There you go. All right. That was that guy. Those guys are pinned. Over here, the leader will voluntarily route alongside with the squad.
yep.
They will go to, or they have to go through T7, but at ground floor, obviously. Uh, I can continue to S7, yeah? Or
As
no?
long as you can go to a building or woods hex, you can keep routing as long as you have movement points.
2, 4. Where's do I gotta go? I will go to R6. Yeah, they'll go to R6. The leader here is not becoming more vulnerable. He's just going to the next hex over. So he will continue. He'll go there first. Uh, then continues to S3 for 4, and then drops to ground floor. And that is it for routes.
Okay, advances. The stack will advance here. The stack will advance here. The stack will advance here. Advance. You can stay there, it's fine. I can't advance into that foxhole, right?
I think you can, yeah.
Oh, in that case, we will do that.
You can't have both guys in there. You have to make a choice.
Oh, it's a one squad effect. That's right. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not giving you all the
Um,
bonuses there.
that's fair. That's fair. We'll stay there. That's fine. Let's clone that. My observer will advance up to level 2. Actually, hold on. He can't do that. That's fine. What do I do with this, guys? This is obnoxious. 1. He will advance here. Will he? Ah. Yeah, that's fine. We'll advance there. It's a machine gun. Okay, that's it.
All right.
All right, let's start with this because I don't know what the hell to do here. So now that I've advanced people in, what happens to the AFE? Anything? Or are we just in regular close combat now?
So even if the squad was there or wasn't there, I'd still have to decide whether or not I want to attack, right? Um, Under these circumstances, there's no reason for me to go after the vehicle because I'm a half squad. I get a minus if I'm halved, so I'm already starting at 2. Your motions, there's another +2. There's no point for me to go after that. So I would want to target the squad, the Japanese squad.
Perfect.
Um,
Perfect.
if I chose to attack the AFV, I believe when you're attacking AFVs, it's sequential, and the infantry goes first automatically, if I remember correctly. So, since that's not the
Yeah, I think
case,
you're right.
yeah, since it's not the case, it's not anything to worry about. I just want to take out the infantry,
Okay. Sure. So I have a 3-1,
and I am a 1 to 6.
and you're pinned. All right.
Yeah, hence 1 to 6.
3-1. I need 8.
Oh,
8. Oh yeah.
is this hand to hand
This is
by
open
force?
ground.
I know, but is it hand to hand by
It's
automatic?
no. There's no automatic hand to hand
It's
per
all
SSR.
It's all by choice.
SSR4 close combat is not automatically hand-to-hand per G1.64. However, they voluntarily declare it in situations where it would otherwise have been.
Okay. So basically, it just means that I need a 2 or less to do something. Oops, that wasn't it, but 6, so nothing anyways.
And you are super dead. Okay.
Hyper dead even.
Okay. Makes that easy. And then we just have the one down here, right?
Which will be an ambush roll, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my god. I'm stealthy and Japanese, right?
Uh, you are stealthy, I believe. Unless there's something I missed in some of the other stuff.
Oh, no, no. So it's even because of the CX.
Good order and first line are stealthy, while conscripts are lax.
Yeah.
You don't have conscripts, so you get a +1 for lax and -1 for stealthy.
I rolled a 2.
I also rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2. All right. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 3 to 1 again.
I'm going to fight the second line squad for a 1-1.
Okay, that works. So 3 to 1, 1 to 1. And I think I can declare hand to hand.
Uh, if you so choose, but I'm pretty sure you declare at the start.
Okay. All right, so I need an 8 for a result. Well, I got mine.
I got a casualty reduction.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh wait, versus CX. So that's actually a kill because you guys are CX, and you would have a +1, which doesn't change your stuff.
Okay, you can have him.
I will have him. I will have
It's
him.
all yours, buddy.
I will have him to
You
love
got it.
him and hold him. I will call him
And squeeze
George.
him.
Actually, I should call him like Hushida or something because he's Japanese.
I think George sounds good to me.
No, that's a fuck. Is it the KI-44? And I can't believe I'm forgetting which designation is the George.
Oh god, I have no idea.
Yeah, I try to be a plane nerd when I can. Pretty sure it's the ally reporting name would have been.
Yeah, I'm all kinds of nerds, but not one of those.
Hey, there's one color for everybody.
It's a rainbow of colors. Ask your friend Lewis. He agrees with me.
The fuck was the George? Oh, it's the N1K. That's fine. That's.
You were way off. Aren't you embarrassed? You should
I
be
am.
embarrassed.
I am slightly embarrassed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My excuse is
No
I
one
haven't
cares
done a
about Japanese.
podcast episode in like 6 months.
Yeah,
But nobody's supposed to know my
embarrassing. I'm
true
embarrassed
identity,
for
so
you.
thank you.
I'm
It
em
means a lot.
I'm embarrassed for you. It should. It should. What are friends for? I believe that's my turn.
All right.
It is Shiny's turn 4.
Chinese turn 4 weather.
Or turn
Ooh,
3.
gusts.
Oh, we have
Could
gusts.
could there possibly be anything that happens from this gust? And probably not, because it would only
I'm
affect
guessing
smoke.
no.
It would only affect smoke, and there's no real smoke on the map,
Yeah, no.
so no effect. Rallies. I'm going to do. Might as well do my self rally first. Oh, also pins come off. I'm gonna do S3 first. That is definitely nope. I'm going to do R6 second. Pretty sure that's nothing. And then my repair is going to be a broken HMG. That sucks.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to repair mine. And no, still not repaired.
All right, prep fire. How do I want to prep fire? I have so many options. So many
Do.
juicy, tasty options.
I would be interested to see you prep firing here. It's it's a bold move.
Um, well, I know one thing I'm tempted to prep fire. These guys are divided, so that's not really worthwhile. HMG in U4 is going to shoot at W4.
Yeah, do it.
6, that is a kill. Because it is 6 firepower, and 6 on the 6 column is the vehicle number. Actually, it might be immobilization. Let's see here. Fire attacks versus vehicles. Vehicles unarmored. Result on the number line. The same IFTDR for any personal target in the same location. Yada yada. If it equals the kill number, the vehicle is immobilized.
It is an immobilized truck.
It is an immobilized truck. That is correct. I also have rate of fire, so I will shoot at the vehicle in X4. That is not anything, sadly. Um, that's not really worthwhile. Those guys are useless. Moving phase.
Okay.
Conscripts over in T9 are going to go into S10 for 2.
Are you there?
And then I don't think technically you have line of sight, but I'm not going to risk it. I think we'll go to R10 for 3.
Okay.
The squad in T6 will assault move to S6.
You there? Mm. Yep.
Um, this unit in V0 is going to bypass UO U1 for 1.
Yep.
Continues to T0 for 3.
Yep.
Hmm. The conscripts in the foxhole will have to spend 1 to get out.
Okay.
3 into R4.
Got it.
The crew will also jump out of the foxhole.
Yeah, I mean we'll take a what, three down 2? No, 3 down 1 from the foxhole.
Okay. Six on 3. Contest check. Pass.
The yeah, this squad here gonna take the same shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's gonna be on 1.5. That's a miss.
And then the vehicle. In that same hex?
7 on 4. PTC. Pass.
Get some markers out here. Oops. Oh, God. Whatever.
That's it for him?
That's it for now.
All right. They spend a second movement factor to get into Q6.
They're there.
T7 or Q7 through 3.
Yep.
And Q8 for 4.
You got it. Where's the machine gun? Did you dump it?
It broke.
Oh, you rolled a 6. That's right. Yeah.
The squad in T7 will go to T6 as a normal move.
Sure.
And then down to ground level for 4.
Wait. Sorry. Oh, you're gonna go to ground level? No, you can stay there. It's fine.
Okay.
3.
Oops.
I don't think his shot's gonna get any better there. Yeah. So this hex will shoot.
Okay.
It's a 2 up. No, non-assault. 2 up 1. One.
Yes.
-1 for the leader. 1 for non-assault. +3 for the building.
That'll be a miss.
That's no effect. This guy will shoot 3 up 3, 3 up 2.
Mm-hmm.
7 on the 3.
Pretty sure it's a PTC. Yeah. Additional pins.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Defense fire.
My immobilize truck will take the 6 up 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably should have
on the 6.
Probably should have calculated if it does other stuff.
Oh wait, do we do the what? Wait a minute. Well, I mean, I still want that shot. That's a what, a 1MC. But what do we do on the for the FFE thing?
FFE goes first. Because so technically this is gone, and we're starting to calculate other stuff. I think the thing I missed, but whatever, it's a little late now, was because these guys are CE, so technically I think that first shot might have forced them to go button up, but regardless, I mean, we can always do that shot and then just resolve the artillery stuff afterwards. So it's a 6 on 6, 1 morale check. Heat of battle. 9. That is going to be berserk, I think. Oh no, wait, they don't get any modifiers. That's right.
You get no modifiers.
Still berserk anyways.
God bless them. God bless their berserk little hearts.
Where is my berserk counter? Oh, it's a good thing this is after movement phase. All right, so we go back to the artillery chart.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I
so
think I.
radio contact, if you establish or maintain it,
All right, let's roll. We're
maintained.
good.
So yes, is SR or FFE2 on board? No, so you do a chit draw.
All right, let's draw a chit. Where's my OBA module? Um,
I mean, I don't think you've gotten a single red yet, so even with extra draws.
shoot, it's 5 and 2. It didn't save the OBA.
It didn't?
No,
Are you
that's super
sure?
obnoxious. I have one OBA module on my thing that says 8 black and 3 red, and I know that's not right.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. Oh, I think I know why. Okay, never mind. I think it's because I used 6.6.3.1. Maybe the new version adds a default OBA or something. And,
All
um,
right, it's 5 and 2 for Japanese. All right, we have access.
well, you have to draw. Hold on. Now draw another one because you had to start drawing with a black, right? So you already had one out.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So
Okay,
now you make a second draw. All right.
black. All right.
All right. So black is non NOBA FFE on board. Yes. So you go to column FFEC. Did observer have LOS to FFE's blast height during the current phase prior to achieving access? Yes. Desire to
Yes.
convert FFE1 in hex? Yes or no?
So I can go back to FFE1.
Uh, yes.
Um, shoot. Do I want to do that? Huh. Maybe no. Maybe not. You know what? No. I want to move it, I think.
Right.
Do I want to move it? No, let's just leave it there. I don't know. Help me out here. I put away my flow chart. Hold on, let me find my
I
flow
don't know
chart.
if I want to do that.
No, no, no. I don't. I'm not asking you to help me out with. I just want to know what's happening. So
So, if you
find
move,
my
you're
flow
still
chart.
going. If you move, we're basically going back to the artillery request stuff. Um,
Right.
if you
But
don't,
if I can just reconvert right now.
you can reconvert on the same spot. Yes.
Oh. See, I don't know if I yeah, let's do that. I'm all about that.
Okay.
Oh, poor Berserk unit. All right. So is that just goes back to
So,
FFE1?
so does observer have LOS to base level of FFEC? Yes. If there are adjacent or enemy units in or adjacent to the FFEC hex, are all of them unknown to the observer? No. So you convert it to
No.
FFE1, resolve, and then replace with FFE2.
Okay. So it's 12 again, right?
Yeah, whatever 70 millimeter is. I think it's 12.
Okay. So we're gonna start with the middle and then just count around again. So 7 straight rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, got some low rolls there.
All right. That would be 13 against on 12, which I don't think is a result. Hold on.
I can't imagine that's a result.
No. So 13 on 12
Yeah.
is nothing. U3 is fine. V3 might actually be shell holes. 3, oh no, it's just a K. It's not KIA. V3 is fine. The other one is, what is that, V4? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T4 is going to be possible shell hole creation, I believe. After any
KIA on the
original
12.
KIA. Yeah. So that will be shell holes. Let me see if I can find a overlay. That's not what I'm looking for. shell holes. So shell holes
Oh, that's
in
cute.
T4. And that's it. Shame too. I
Okay.
was hoping that would have been on like T3 or something. Rubble the building.
Yeah, this was rebel a building. That sounds fun. I want to rebel a building. Um,
Also, this is weird. Can I not? Oh, that's weird. Hold on. I just want to see if.
yeah, that's better. Put the FFE
Yeah,
underneath the shell holes.
because
Yeah.
it apparently, if it's on top, you can't select and move other stuff. You have to move it, which is weird.
The way they handle overlays is super weird.
Yeah. I know it
Um,
bugs out LOS
okay.
like immediately too.
So,
Yeah, so that's it for artillery.
okay. So 6 from here to here.
Okay. No.
6 up to that's nothing. Uh, 4 up to from there to there.
Okay.
Well, actually, do I? Hold on. Um,
I mean, you'd have to
hmm.
turn your turret anyways on that one.
He's actually gonna shoot here. Let's string it.
Okay.
Actually, I can't string it. You need to string it. Vassal's doing that
Weird.
thing where it's grayed out for me.
So it's from W5 you're shooting or W6?
Here.
6. Yeah, so that should be a 1 hindrance from the tower, +3 for building, so +4.
The tower blocks line of sight, doesn't it? Isn't
Pretty
it
sure.
an obstacle?
No, because it's on ground floor. Towers are always one level higher than the base level of the hex, except when SPR states otherwise. The Bronze Tower depiction itself is an LOS. The ground level location, but not inherent terrain, is a level 1 +1 hindrance.
Oh, all right. Uh,
So plus
does it what?
4,
In
8 on 4. Yeah, miss. Barely, but a
no
miss.
effect. The squad and the light machine gun in this one, whatever this one is. That's 5 up, 3 into here.
Squad machine gun. Okay. I think that would just be a +4, but yeah, miss otherwise.
Plus 4. Is it also getting the tower?
Well, you're shooting from V6, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. What's it say for this? Essentially, the ground level location. Yeah, it doesn't specify that it's like it doesn't not say it's a full hex obstruction. It's the ground level location, but not inherent terrain.
It's not inherent terrain. Okay, that's fine. So the leader here into here, so that's a 2 up 2.
Okay.
It's no effect. And that's it.
All
No,
right.
wait, is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Defense fire comes off. Um, I'm gonna shoot these guys at. We'll just do here. So
Okay,
it's a 2.5 up 1 shot. That's
got it.
nothing. I don't have any reason to shoot anybody else. I don't think. Should take residual off. Yeah, nothing else. Broken units. I have none that are required to route. You don't have any either. Advanced phase. Take off preps. U1 goes down to U2.
Okay,
The squadron T0 will go to. We'll go to T1. The Berserks will go to T3. They are not more vulnerable, so they don't take any artillery stuff. S6 will go to S7. Conscripts in B10 go to or R10, sorry, to R9. Crew in Q6 goes to R8. And I think that'll be it. Yeah. No CC. Japanese turn 4.
Right.
Pins can.
Let's roll for wind. We're no longer gusty. But we almost became gusty again.
I'd appreciate it if you save those for your IFT rolls.
I will do my best. I will do my best. Okay. Oh, the parade of ice cream trucks again.
So what are we looking at here right now?
Sorry?
What are we looking at here right now?
I'm trying to decide. Oh, I need to. It's rally phase. I need
Yes.
to try to fix my machine gun.
Okay.
Sorry, I got lost in thought there. Machine gun is still broken.
Leader in S3 attempts to rally. He will rally. Break him. Squad in R6 will attempt to rally. He will rally. Sweet.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was really worried about that stuff. Unironically. Oh,
All right.
crap. Am I allowed to
Oh,
claim?
prep fire, right?
Do you mind if I claim some concealments? Just for these guys?
I do not. I do not as well.
Okay. They become concealed.
Okay. So now we do the FFE again.
That is correct. So maintain. Check to see if you maintain
Oh, wait.
contact.
Yep. Yep. So
Uh,
9 minus 2, 7. Yeah.
so you maintain, which means. Sure.
7 more rolls.
Hold on. So, radio contact is established. SR, FFE is on board. FFE2 is on board. Do you wish to cancel your FFE2? Because this should be FFE2.
I do not.
No. Disregarding smoke, does observer have LOS to base level of FFE hex?
Yes.
To base level, yes. Do you wish to move or correct FFE2?
I do not.
Okay. Then resolve FFE2 and flip to FFEC.
Okay. So we'll do the same thing. Middle, and then U3, and then around.
Okay.
So your squad will be the last one.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yike.
Pretty sure middle's nothing. No. Yeah, I don't think there's anything on there.
Well, I'm not rolling too badly, except for that. Okay.
I don't know where.
All right. Any other prep fire?
Please hit. Please hit. Please hit. Actually, please say yes. Shoot targets that I don't even have units in. Just guns
No.
blazing. Ah, damn.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I do stupid stuff sometimes. All the time, actually, often. It's a thing. It's a thing. Ooh. Hmm. How does street fighting work again?
So essentially, if you happen to be moving into a hex where both sides an attacker could attack have buildings, um, the attacker, the infantry in this case, get to run out of the building. They take a patsy. If they succeed, they go out of the building into the streets. They automatically attack the vehicle, and regardless of the success or otherwise, they then go back into the building or their building.
So would if I was bypassing between two buildings, is street fighting available to you?
I think so because I forget if it's strictly in a street or not, but let's see here. Street fighting. Any vehicle in a road hex and adjacent to a building on both sides of the road is especially
Roadhex.
vulnerable. CC.
Road.
All infantry advancing that location. Ground level.
It's got to
Qualify.
be in a road hex.
It looks like it, but I know there is stuff for um, any vehicle in stationary bypass or using VBM is also subject to street fighting rules from any infantry in the bypassed obstacle of their hex.
Okay, but it has to still has to be a road.
I don't believe so because it just says any vehicle in stationary bypass or using VBM. I think it's you're so close to the building that you're giving yourself up to that sort of attack.
Makes sense. Okay.
Normal patsy requirements apply in all cases. So if only my guys were immune to patsies.
If only. So for one, two. Hmm. Decisions. Okay, this vehicle here going to go one. Bypass this hex side for two.
Were you pointing that direction first?
No, that's why he turned. Turned for one.
Oh, okay. Then bypass for 3 there. Okay. Are you in U6 or U7?
I'm bypassing the tank
U6
or the. Oh wait a second. Hold on.
tower.
I keep thinking that's a tower. Can I
It is a
bypass a
tower.
tower?
I'm pretty sure you can. All tower rules apply. What are the tower rules?
Is
Tower
it B34?
B pass. The cost for
34.
infantry, cavalry only enter bypass. Vehicles must use VBM. So you're good.
Okay.
It's still the 2 points, two moving factors.
That's right. That's right. 3.
Okay.
Um, 4 or 5.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Or is that what I want? 6, 7. No, he'll go there for 7 and stop.
Okay. On stop, doing street fighting.
Who's gonna street fight?
The guys
I'm not
in the
between two buildings.
yeah, but you're in bypass on in T6.
I then completely misunderstand what you said.
I mean, if you want to take it back, the move, that's fine because we can use this as a learning experience. But street fighting will always happen if you're in VBN in that hex.
Yeah, okay. So I did misunderstand what you said. And no,
Okay.
let's not take it back. Let's keep going.
Okay. So, all right. So they're not elite, so I have to do a patsy check. So they will pass their patsy. You'll get a sniper.
Ooh.
Of course. Well, it
All right.
won't. I don't think it can affect those guys specifically until after the action. But
Yeah, no, we'll do it afterwards. I just got excited. Sorry.
no worries.
Let's see.
All infantry advancing to that road location from ground level, one or more of those adjacent qualify for street fighting ambush. So, I guess we roll for ambush. Furthermore, any vehicle such road hacks may be attacked with CC reaction fire. The units will be moved onto the hex, onto the vehicle. Road hex make their CC attack, and following any CC attack, return to the same locations they came from. Mines FFV attack normally. Optionally, remain in the road. If broken pinned, wire, yada yada. Reaction fire is identical to street fighting CC procedures, except the vehicle may not attack back. There's no CC attack options during reaction fire. While the crew arms still apply. Alright, so we are looking at AFV CC attacks versus, or sorry, CC versus AFV. I must pass passy, which was done. Leader can use modifier, don't have leader. Inexperienced, not experienced. Once in the same location with enemy AFV during the CC phase, technically this would count as the movement phase.
It's close combat reaction fire.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the specific CC versus vehicle. This ratio.
So I think you have to roll less than a 5 because you're a full squad, right?
Yes. So if we look at the chart, the close combat table, anyways, squad is a 5. It's not motion or non-stopped. It is armored. You do have a usable machine gun. Actually, that's a CMG. I think CMGs are fine. I think it's hull guns that aren't. You'd have to look at A15.501. There's no escorts. It's not open top or partially armored. They are not crew exposed. It's not immobile. I don't have APMMs. So, I it's ambush, and that's the one thing that's throwing me off right now. Ambush. CC. Okay, so there is a possibility for ambush. I guess just from my side because I'd be the only one attacking. So 5. I don't think there's any modifiers.
Oh, no, your ambush DRM is just for your die roll. So street fighting gives you what, a -1?
Yes, I think.
So you need to roll a 5, less than a 5, right? 5 or less? What is it?
So the ambush is against my
Um,
own CCV.
so you need to roll less than a 5 and you have -1 on the roll, I think. So, because in 11.51, an ambush DRM or hero DRM can also apply to close combat versus a vehicle.
Yeah, but uh,
So
I guess the question is how is the ambush roll achieved? Is it just?
it's not an ambush roll. You just get the -1.
Oh,
Um,
really?
you get the -1 DRM from street fighting. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
all infantry advancing into that road location from ground level of one or more of those adjacent building hexes qualify for street fighting ambush -1 +1 DRM in close combat versus the vehicle.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So you need to roll a 6. No, you need to roll a 5. You need to roll less than the close combat value.
But nothing, and they go back into their building.
And they
Uh,
are first fired, correct?
correct. At least it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully we didn't butcher that too
Okay.
much.
No, I think it's fine. Has anyone yelled at us in the
No, nobody
in
else
the comments? No, no, no one yells at you, maybe.
is.
Um, uh,
In Street Fight,
the
because my
stack.
vehicles involve CCs is sequential with the German attack first. Either the may make it a magnetic line. Squad ops the 6. Total DRM of -5. Wire original CC. Stay in F4 to the wire, otherwise they could have chosen to return. Well,
Oh, I need to do my sniper check.
yes. Well, you already did
So
the
the
sniper check, so it's
color,
direction.
yeah, color die is direction. So 3 and 2. So
3
1,
8.
2
So it just goes
closest
back
is
to
probably.
them and breaks.
Wow. Guess we're. That's fascinating. All right. Oh, well, that changes things a little bit.
Changes a lot, which is unfortunate.
Hmm. Too many clown cars.
I think there's just enough of
You think so? There's just enough, the right amount of clown cars?
them.
Good God. Hmm. All right. We'll come back to the clown cars. This is irritating me. We're gonna go down here. These are gonna lose their DM. We're gonna go 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4.
Um. Okay.
1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4.
That will get the attention of both for a 10 flat. 7 on 10. 7 on 10. 1 MC.
Stripes.
I will take it. And then for residual.
Bypass 1, bypass 2, bypass 3. These guys will. I hate it when I say these guys. You have no idea who I'm talking about.
This is true.
But now I can change my mind. I'll fake you out. I'll move
Oh,
someone
damn.
else. Yeah. I just like to play mind games. This squad here will take their machine gun and move there for 1.
Okay.
2, 3.
Uh, well, S7 I'll shoot at him. So that'll be 6 up 2. Nope.
These guys will assault move here for 2.
I
Actually,
will.
they're regular move there for 2. They're regular moving.
Okay, that'll also be another shot. So it's a 3 flat. 7 on
From
3.
where? Sorry.
From same guys, S7.
Oh, okay.
So 7 on 3, I believe, is a pin test check. Yeah.
Yeah, pass.
Damn.
3, 4.
Leader and the squad will shoot as a 10 flat. Gotta be kidding me with these rolls. And that will be 4. It actually might be 2 because I don't think the LMG gets counted if it breaks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This squad here is going to. What is he going to do? It's going to CX. Go 1, 2.
Okay.
Gonna bypass this building for 3.
Okay.
Bypass this building for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Go 5, 6.
When you say bypassing, which hex are you bypassing?
Bypassing the building in T8.
Okay. So you'll take in S8 you take a 1 flat, I think. Nope, nothing.
Mm. Two. Two, 3. This squad here is going to bypass the woods for 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
This squad here is going to bypass the woods for 1,
Mm-hmm.
bypass T8 for 2,
Okay.
go here for 3, 4.
Can't cower. 4-on-1 normal morale check. All right. Getting something out of it.
The second line squad will do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nothing. You're good.
Okay. The sec here is going to go here for 2,
Okay.
3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6.
Sounds good. I will shoot as a subsequent.
Okay.
So it's a 3 flat. No, not even a pin. There will be one residual.
Okay. This leader will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Oy, oy, oy. This vehicle here is going to start for 1.
Okay.
Go to 2.
Uh, Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's see. Hit. So 7 on a vehicle to hit. It is moving. So it gets a +2.
Small target.
Small target and the first fire. So miss.
He'll bypass here for 2, 3.
Okay.
Bypass the tower. 4,
Mm-hmm.
5,
Okay.
6,
Sure.
7,
Okay.
8.
So 8 and done.
Yeah, he's in motion.
Okay. I'm intensifier. Oops, that's not what. Against this guy. Uh, so there is a. It's just a +2 for a shot, uh, and a +2 for motion. So I think it's still gonna miss due to small size.
Yeah. Multiple choice. 1, 2. This leader here will go 1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
Okay.
3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
5, 6.
Okay.
Ah, man. My broken unit is actually being really obnoxious right now.
It's okay. My high dice rolls are being obnoxious right now too.
Oh, stop. Your dice rolls are fine.
No, they're not.
See? You're exactly even.
No, they're bad. I've been getting them at bad times.
Your morale checks are 6, bro.
Oh, my mind.
6.
I'm not complaining about my morale checks. I'm complaining about my IFTs.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
so many minuses and whatever. I was really expecting to do more.
That's fair. Uh, um, Foxhole boys are gonna move out of the foxhole for 1. Gonna move there for 2.5, I think.
Um,
Is it 1.5?
conscripts will shoot.
Yeah.
So I think. I don't think it counts as hindrance unless it goes through, does it?
Oh, well, we can check. Let's check B34. Is there a TEM in that hex?
Actually, it won't. I don't think it'd matter because it wouldn't be open ground, wouldn't it? Would it?
A unit of the open ground location of a tower hex is considered to be occupying the other terrain in that hex, and so uses the TEM of the other terrain. So it's not open ground, but there's no TEM. A tower location has a TEM of 0.
Units
Oh,
entering
that's the location. Yeah.
are never subject
Are never
to
subject to
FF.
FFMO.
Okay, so it'll still be non-assault movement, so it's 3 down 1. 5 on 3 as a NMC.
They pin. Ugh. So obnoxious. Oh no, it's just 1 for infantry. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Gonna go here for 1.
Um, okay.
Oops. 2.
All right, so they're gonna take a 1 down 1, I believe, or I think it's just 1 flat.
Non-assault movement, I think, is the only one you get. So it's 1
Right.
down 1.
So NMC.
Pass.
Uh, okay, moves there now.
Moves there for 3.
Um, leader and squad in S3 will shoot. It will be a 3 down 3. 4 on 3. 1 MC.
Grabs them. Gonna move there for 4.
That was 3. All right. Conscripts will shoot once more. They're also claiming wall advantage. Move in there. I'll just put it under. So it is a have doubled, so 3 down 2. 4 and 3 is another 1 MC.
Pass.
Um, might as well. The machine gun in T3 will also shoot. So it is a 6 down 2. 7 on 6 normal morale.
Pass.
And no rate. And no sand.
Now the time for the parade of clown cars. Maybe. He's staying put. Okay. This one here is going to start for 1.
Okay.
Change his covered arc for 2.
Okay.
Go 3.
Okay.
4.
Right.
Bypass the tower for 5, 6.
Okay.
7.
Takes a 1 firepower collateral. Pretty sure it's not going to do anything.
Because it's +2 for the
Yeah,
6.
hold on. Before you move. Uh, all right. What am I looking at here? Vehicle to kill. Oh, sorry. I have to do at least this. So range is 10. So my ordnance number is 8. You spent at least 2. Actually, it'd be more because you're bypassing, and I would have seen that. So it's only a +2. You have no vehicle size. There's 1 hindrance in the orchards, so it should be a hit. I don't get multiple hits. That doesn't matter. I can only shoot HE because these are dumb guns. Final TK is a 12. Automatic. It's not crit. Rear facing, long range, low range. I think that's it. So, TK, that's a dead, not burning vehicle.
Okay. I'll roll for crew. We get the crew.
You get the crew. What? What?
Crew survival 7.
Your crew survival is 7?
Yeah.
Where the heck is your crew survival 7? I need to see this. Japanese vehicles.
It's show info on the back. It's a troop carrier.
Are you sure it's that? And it's my question would be: is it the crew or is that the passenger survival number?
Passengers and crew, they roll the same crew survival number. There's no such thing as a passenger survival number.
Uh, if it's small, it's if italicized in lowercase CS numbers on counter, it applies to passenger riders only. So, yeah, your guys survive then.
Um, Oops, that's a German one. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, what the heck? I knew there was something funny about your guys.
They're Germans. Okay.
Uh,
This
wait a minute.
is
Hold on. Are you sure it's those guys?
It's a crew, right?
Shouldn't it be a 127
You
vehicle
tell
crew?
me. If that's what it's supposed to be, then I trust you.
Uh, vehicle crew counter, distinct from infantry crew by its FP of 1 and non-elite status.
Perfect. I'm in.
Cool. That also means there is residual, and that's a 70 millimeter, which means 12, so 6. That's that.
So they were on 7, so they had used 25% of their movement factors.
Does it are they considered having used all their movement if they bail out?
I'll be honest, I don't even know.
All
Is
right,
that
Tom.
is that the case?
Let's learn here. Crew vehicle counters T56 T57. Crew survival. On the wreck side of each vehicle is a CS number, yada yada. Chance to escape its vehicle sufficiently intact to still represent a viable unit on the battlefield. If you make a final
So it doesn't look
DR
like they can move any further.
list, place beneath, expending all remaining movement factors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is subject to
Okay.
the effects of hazardous movement versus all subsequent attacks during that phase. Exceptions, yada, are not subject to collateral attack from the shot firepower that destroyed their vehicle, and can be subject to residual attack during that phase only if the residual firepower was not the cause result. So because there was a 1 residual, they get attacked by a 1 automatically? Okay. Uh, uh, that will be. Can be subject to residual attacks. Does that then. Does a residual on a vehicle that's just been blown up count plus 1 because now there's a vehicle in there and it counts TEM?
I can't imagine that's the case. Or maybe it does, because I mean the vehicle was there before they jumped out, right?
Yeah, hold on. Residual. Um, does it say anything for crew? Now, assume that it's possessed by crew. No. Oh, it doesn't say anything there. All non-hex side TEM, smoke entrance, apply, humorous bypass, remove counters, and there's like 18 QAs, so I'm not gonna check all these QAs. So we'll just say it does because I don't see why it wouldn't. So it means there'd be a plus 1. Um, it's also first fire, so it'd be non-assault movement as well. So it's essentially it's a 3-on-1, which is a 1 MC, and your sniper.
Okay. Let's roll a morale check. Passed. Sniper, no.
I thought you said pass, and I was going to agree with you. That's also.
What?
I said I thought you said pest, and I was going to agree with you.
Oh, you're a pest.
No,
Yes. Well,
your
that's
guys
fair.
are pests.
Oh, my guys are the pests. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know. It's crazy.
It doesn't feel exactly right to me, but
No, well, so there's winners and losers in life.
like Lewis Hamilton.
That's right. That's right. And loser Max Verstappen. Oh, sorry, I thought we were still on winners and losers.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's okay in the annals of history. Someone will watch this 3 years from now and go, got him.
All right. Yeah. This truck. We'll spend 1 to start.
Okay.
You will go here for 1.
2, but yes.
2, correct. Sorry. 3.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Gonna bypass in the tower hex for 6.
Okay.
7, 8.
I will shoot again. Yeah, that'll be nothing. And the breaks the
And
gun.
your color die. Yeah.
Wouldn't matter. Broke the gun.
Yeah.
Why the hell that happened?
We will bypass the building for 8.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Whoa. You're
Huh?
good. Nah, sorry. It looked like you were dragging a foxhole. That's all.
Oh, I might be. 10.
Okay.
11.
Mm-hmm.
12.
Oh, hold on. Because you'll still take residual fire, my guy.
Oh, he's oh, in the oh shit. Yeah, I didn't see it down there.
Because you'll
So it's
still
a
take.
6 up 2
Uh, so it's.
in that
Hold
hex.
on. Residual versus unarmored. Where does it say unarmored? That's not it. So I guess it just
Oh
affects it
man,
normally. Because versus AFV, it's only a collateral, but this isn't AFV, it's a vehicle. And it doesn't say. So I assume it's going to just work naturally. So,
Okay.
IFT 6, so immobilized. Sorry, in that hex. T5. Uh, Also, the other thing too, because I need to double check on this. Because is your guy CE or not CE? Because he
He
was
is
C.
CE.
Okay, so that also means, if I remember correctly, that he should be taking a collateral. Collateral attack versus all vulnerable passenger riders crew in that S. Where the hell is what's S? Okay, that's weird. Whatever. Um, I guess it's just IFE. Okay, so it's a general collateral attack. So whenever a vehicle is subjected to FP, which is not required to pre-designate it as a target, any vulnerable passengers, riders, crew in or on are subject to general collateral attack, as per D8 above, but modified normally for range, hindrances, TEM, CE, DRM, etc., just as if the vulnerable PRC were the only target being attacked. Additionally, the vulnerable PRC of any vehicle in the same location are also subject to general collateral attack. Special name for the application of the original attack, blah. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, uh, you get modified normally for range, hindrances, TM, CE, DRM. Now, I
So
don't.
it's +2 for CE, right?
It should be +2 for CE. I just forget if collateral attack is a separate DRM or not, or a separate DR. I don't think it is,
So you're looking
right?
at an 8 on the 6.
I mean, I can't imagine that it would be 2 dice rolls because then you'd just be going crazy.
No,
Uh,
it's not.
so
No.
so it's a pin task check against the crew.
Okay. So they
So
pin.
they pin,
Does that mean they
which
button up?
it means they button up, and I think they. I forget if it's a possible shock or not. I don't think it is, but
There's no way a
shock.
pin check is a possible shock. Well, that's not true. Maybe that is.
Well, it is also a unarmored. Um, Unarmored. So a final 2 kill DR exactly equal to the final TK. And never results mobilization, exception on armored vehicles. Running rack. Okay. We shocked AIV. Say pinned. This is like the one thing I always freaking forget, and I hate it. Vehicle crew. A pin result versus the C crew. Um, that's a AFV, which is not an AFV. Unarmored. An inherent crew that suffers a pin result when attacked through an unarmored target facing is subject to the same penalties as that of an open top AFV. It seems to me like it just buttons you up. You
Okay, they're buttoned up.
So immobilized and buttoned up.
It is an immobilized, buttoned up. 1, 2, 3. It gums up the roads there.
Well, there's also something about wrecks and vehicles in the same location.
Two vehicles are in the same place. You just have to create. You just have to turn one of them into a wreck. That's as far as I know.
Um,
Unless there's something else I don't know.
no, there's something. There's something I always got wrong myself. Um, yeah, no, we'll keep playing, and if I see something,
Okay.
stacking limits, I think. Each side may only have one vehicle in each location. Presence of wrecks does not affect stacking penalties. Okay. So technically, you could run every vehicle through there, have them all blow up, and then there's just 8 wrecks in one location. Which,
I
frankly,
mean,
I'm fine with.
it's quite the hindrance there. I would imagine you would be fine with it. I believe that actually.
Think about it this way: if you get 6 wrecks or more, it then translates into a blind hex. Like you would block LOS behind it.
That's true, and that might actually come in handy for.
You can route safely,
Um,
presumably.
like, there's a lot of routing that could be taking place. Man, I've not done myself any favors here. Already bypass there. This guy will start for 1. He'll roll for it. Starts. We'll go there for 3.
Okay. So if yeah, okay.
How does indirect fire against the vehicle work?
Um, I think it's just the HET kill. Uh, I think you're still doing like 2 hits and stuff, but first vehicle. Um, for unarmored. However, such attacks versus an AFE are resolved in a different manner in the IFT. A final
Basically kills a
KIA.
7.
Um,
Am
well,
I
it's
still
on the
doing 2 hits?
no, it's on the IFT. So a final KIA result destroys the AFE but allows normal survival possibilities, exception if it's half a final DR, half of the final DR that corresponds to a K result. Results in burning wreck and the elimination of PRC, yada yada. A final DR that is a K number or a one above K number creates either an automatic shock, return hit, or immobilization for a hull hit. Morale check or repeat attach
So if I
check has no
drive into that
effect.
if I drive into that FFE, it needs to roll be a 3 for an effect.
It's on the 70 millimeter.
Which is 12.
Yeah, so you're rolling on 12. There's a DRM for your armor factors, and that's it, I believe. And then whatever the number is the effect.
It's all armor factors +4, right?
So you'd be at a -1 on your DRM.
And it would have to be, so a roll of a 4 would be a result, correct?
Correct. You need to get at least. You would have to roll so low as to get a K or a KIA result for it to affect your tank, since you're not crew
Got it.
exposed. So if you want to roll a 3, trigger my sniper, blow up your tank, I finally activate my sniper, kill the artillery guy.
All of that could happen.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate series of circumstances.
Okay. Um, he'll. He'll bypass there for 5. Bypass the tower.
Okay. And think of all the cool action scenes we could have had from the movie. We're
I
writing.
know.
Instead, you chickened out.
I'm out of movement factors. I think he's got 5.
Yeah, you could have gotten to U5 for 4, and then T4 for
I
5.
could have. I could have. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm ashamed.
What would Paul Verhoeven
Um.
think of your artistic license?
Well, he's doing other stuff right now. He's doing that weird movie with the
When
lesbian
is
nuns.
when isn't he doing anything weird?
Um. He's gonna go there for 1.
Okay,
He'll go there for 5. Let's stay there.
okay,
Gonna start for 1. Go 2, 3, 4, 5.
okay.
Hmm. Is that what he really wants to do? 5. No, he's gonna go there for a 6, 7, and then stop for 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that better. Okay. 2, 3, 5, 6. These trucks are useless to me. Absolutely useless to me. This truck is gonna start for 1, move here for 25, and stop for 26.
Okay.
And the last truck is gonna start for 1, turn his covered arc to go in for 25, turn his covered arc back, stop for 26, and he'll be there.
Okay.
And the leader in the back is going to go up to level 2,
I thought he couldn't do
and
that.
that's my movement. Well, no, he couldn't advance there. Now he's got to go back to the stairwell and go up and over. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's paying
Does that make
5.
sense?
He's paying 5 to get up there?
Well, he's got to go to the square, the stairwell, for 2,
Okay.
up the stairs for 1, back over for 5.
Is it 1 upstairs?
1 to go upstairs, isn't it? Oh, even if it's 2, it's 6. I mean,
Okay.
it's a leader, right?
I'm just trying to see. So he'd be at level 3 or level 2.
Right.
You are revealed, my friend.
Nice.
No concealment anymore. Not that
Nicely
it really
done, little
matters,
half
but
squad. S.
they're full squad. They're conscripts. Give them some credit.
All right, fair enough. It's your defensive fire.
My defensive fire. There's not much else to defensive fire. These guys are going to shoot again at the LMG carrying half guys or strike guys. Sorry. So it's going to
Yep.
be a 3 flat. Not cowering because they have a leader. So 4 on 3, 1 MC. They'll become a half
Or a half
squads.
squad.
And do I not have any friggin' options? The crew in R8 will shoot at the same target as a 2 up 2, I think. Yeah, 2 up 2. Okay. And no other shots. Advancing fire phase.
Okay, the stack here at the bottom. 4 flat with the leader.
Is shooting at R9?
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 flat. 3 on 4, 2 MC. They will absolutely break.
Must ELR too.
Alright, I'm so done with snipers. I've
Oh,
not rolled under 5 on a sniper check in like 3 games.
yeah,
That is
that's a
so
bummer.
frustrating.
Okay. This LMG and this stack will shoot into here.
Mhm.
So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
9 up 2.
Mm-hmm.
So a 6 on the 6th.
Yeah. Which is a 1 MC.
Who's here? Oh. Yeah, that's a bad roll. I'm sorry.
That is for sure.
Um, so these two here will shoot into here.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 up 2. One for
Yep.
the woods, one for CX.
Mm-hmm. 10 and 12 PTC. And they're safe. Relatively, anyways.
Relatively. Suppose we'll take the 2 up 1 into here.
Okay.
No effect. He's not gonna do anything. Cool. I'll take a 4 up 2 into here.
2 up 2.
Oh, excuse me, 2 up 2.
That missed.
That is all my advancing fire.
These 2 guys die immediately.
Yeah.
These guys low crawl to Q9.
They can only route if they're in open ground, right? If they're
Uh,
disrupted.
but there's no way for me to, like, under normal
Oh,
circumstances they
that's
would
right. Yeah,
surrender,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
quarter.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I think that's it.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4. You actually can't route there. You'd have to go to Q10, I think, because you're routing
Uh,
closer to the tank.
he doesn't know the tank is there.
Oh,
Eclipse.
okay. Well, surprise, motherfucker. I'm sorry, that was crude. I apologize. All right, advancing time?
Yeah.
This stack will advance here. This stack will advance here. This stack advances here. 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 He doesn't get to advance. Eesh. Will advance here. This crew will advance here. I think that's it.
Thanks. Well, only 1 CC.
We have ambush turning.
Correct.
I'll roll the 6.
Yo, an ambush. What would my odds be? It's 12.
I mean, you're 1 to 2 no matter what. I mean, if you're going up against a single squad.
Yeah, but I could do a 1 to 6. That's pretty sick.
I mean, you wanted to make that movie earlier, so.
Yeah. I'll do 1 to 6. No. Even a 1 to 4 wouldn't have got me anything.
6, 9, 12. So 6 to 1. I need a 10.
You need an 8, which you get. Turn 4. I just want to do something real quick. We'll see if this works. Nothing. Repairs nothing, and 6 plus 3. that would actually hit. Armor, basic to kill, 7. There's a. It's a hull. I'm pretty sure that's a 1. Uh, is there a rear facing? There's a +1 for rear target facing. Unless I'm thinking of something else. 2, 3, 4. Oh, never mind. There's not anything for facing. 2 kill, not a 2 kill. Yeah, I concede. I have to concede.
Oh, again?
Yeah, I have to concede. There's the my guys are stuck. Like losing, I lost all these guys last turn. Turn 3 also wasn't great. Losing 3 squads out of 12. Like I really don't start with a lot of stuff, which I think is the quote unquote like worst part about this scenario. Uh, Losing a quarter of my fighting force immediately is really bad, and then losing the same thing in a subsequent turn is also terrible. Um, Having an HMG do nothing is really crap. I was hoping I could get something. Like my goal was to like, if you tried to do a gamble with like vehicle motion or whatever, I'd do some alternate hex grain shenanigans and just try to cover the entire middle. Um, and then I could either go up or down. Hence why the conscripts were excuse me were with them to help with movement. Um, this guy doing, I mean, I got one immobilization, but as soon as you break it, like I can't repair it. The other HMG going berserk means I literally can't do anything with him. So that's all my heavy firepower is wasted. This artillery piece didn't do anything. It's really just a matter of I lost too many units and didn't get enough in exchange. The the
Yeah.
fact the fact that I wasn't getting KIAs when I needed them, and the Japanese just constantly strike is really like I definitely think there's things I could have played better in this. Like I think one of the I think one of the strengths is definitely to retreat back to this building. Having all these guys here in the waist, like I have a leader and 3 squads. Like that's this is the last of my firepower, right? And they're all in a bad
Yeah.
spot. Um, Even if I wanted to retreat to O2, P1, P2, like sure I can get there. You know, presumably anyways. I don't think these guys would really do much. Um, Even if they could, like it's not the end of the world. I really think it's just a matter of I should have retreated those guys, you know, a turn ago at the very least. Um, but I kind of just didn't want to give away concealment for free. Uh, I don't think it would really matter
So
anyways, because the
one
gun's
of the
not getting.
things, one of the lessons that I wouldn't say that I've learned it. I keep learning it. I learn
Mm.
it and learn it and learn it. Is I tend to overvalue concealment. Um,
Yeah,
it's really valuable. There's no question it is, especially in a defender versus attacker scenario. I tend to overvalue concealment, and so I don't fall back when I should. I don't shoot when I should because I don't want to lose concealment.
don't get me wrong. I don't. I
My
don't
own,
like I don't think I had any problem on this side, except maybe retreating a little bit faster. But I don't think it would have been possible anyways. I think the biggest problem realistically was you're getting adjacent, which is the worst thing for me. And even on 10, down 1 shots or 10 up 1 shots, I'm not causing you to strike. I'm not pinning you. And those sorts of results will always kill the Chinese player against Japanese because you can stripe as much as you want. It doesn't matter.
yeah. I think like if I had, I think you left the guys on the north like one turn too long.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think as soon as I came in, it all concentrated in the south, then those guys should have been CXing over. It's really the only reason I left the FFE there was just to make it a little bit more complicated for you to cross the street. And then when you immobilize that truck with that, I mean, facing right down that street, I was like, all right, that's fine. I can totally live with that.
Well,
Um,
the other thing too is I don't think we did CE the because those guys getting shot and immobilized should have taken a CE on the crew. And I mean, I think there's a couple things I'd probably change about my gun placement. Like, I don't think I'd have a problem with having gun in '04. Um, Even a gun in '09 can still see enough, and would be hip in that location. It's really just I think the fact that I broke my gun in the back, I got nothing out of my gun in the front, and both my HMGs were particularly useless is what really uh, what really killed me.
yeah, that obviously the breaking of the artillery piece and the heavy was a bummer. And you also broke the other one. You also broke your light down here.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean
I
it
mean,
it really is one of those, like, if you don't get dice rolls your way, uh, you're not you're gonna be in a lot of problems. I think the Japanese players afforded a lot of leeway just with how many units you have. Like, you still have to defend a wide frontage with the with the Chinese, and yeah, I could get these guys over, but even if I'm in this building, I can't see here. Like, it's still a long range shot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, it's definitely tough.
I think also the
And
artillery, like, getting not getting a single red was a real bitch of a thing. So, like,
yeah, it's
you on 7 tokens, and you drew at least twice, I
oh
think,
yeah.
at least twice for not being able to see, so extra draws, and then at least another two for that, and you never lost it, and that would have freed up movement, because, like, this guy was screwed. I can't If I want to move around, it's just too much movement factors and stuff. So I think it's unfortunate, but I think my rolls started well, and I was pretty happy getting just like just some stripes and morale breaks. But yeah, getting a casualty MC, having two guys get basically overrun because they broke. It's not much you can do.
You know, for what it's worth, I don't think this is an easy victory for me, even from this spot. I think
Mm,
I think taking this building here is pretty much a given.
but there's nothing to
But I think
defend is the thing. Like, this gun in the back is still broken, so there's nothing that prevents you getting here, and I still have to go through here. And you're the my guys don't have ATMMs. I don't have any more support weapons because the only guy
yeah,
with it is broken, and the HMG has to drop it in my movement phase, and I have to rush to the nearest guy, which is tank, right?
yeah.
So, like, I can dodge, quote unquote, the artillery by going into S4 S5 because I don't think I have to go through artillery. But that's I guess by the time I get to S5, I change my mind and go here into S6. But that doesn't really get me anything because two firepower is, like, if I survive all the firepower, all the shots, which I don't know why you wouldn't wait till like six firepower down two. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things that I lost too many units in uh, too short order, and that's what bit me in the ass. So
Well, that and the losing the artillery piece and your machine guns. I mean, it was you. I think you rolled fine. I wouldn't really criticize your dice rolls. I think you just got some really crap ones at the wrong times.
yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, when you're rolling with when I have less firepower than you, with just in general with my squads, and I have to rely on support weapons and artillery. As soon as I lose support weapons, I'm gone. There's not much. This map, once you get past the open ground, and I had nothing to contest this open ground, you're 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 in the buildings for sure. And, like,
It's
there's no way I'm winning in CC. So
no, I agree with you there. Close combat is not going to work out.
I'm actually surprised. One, I'm annoyed by the radio guy always getting contact. which was another thing. I think you only dropped it once. Um, but I was curious as to why you didn't advance the half squad at the LMG into to there and lock me up.
Oh, why didn't I do that? That's actually a good question.
Because I mean, sure, ambush, but like you would have
Oh, it's a
gotten.
3-1. It's a 3-1, and you're down one. Like,
I
eef.
mean, it's 4-1, but you wouldn't be down one.
It is 4-1. Yeah.
And if like
No, I'm down
if
one because of your leader. You're.
oh right, yeah, but I don't know. I think that would have been a risk I would have taken myself.
Here's the thing. What is he gonna do?
If you're in melee, then there's even less that
I don't know.
anybody can do there.
What I mean, what is he gonna do now? Like,
You mean my
I don't.
guys?
Yeah. I'm
Well,
not worried about anything this stack is gonna do. To be honest, I'm just not. Where you've got one shot, you're gonna prep fire and break one of these squads. Okay.
the idea would be
Your
to
stripe one.
dash, go into R4.
Dash into R4. Where's
Yeah.
R4? Let's see. Sure. I mean, you're still moving in the direction that I don't mind.
Sure, but I'm just saying like that's the thing those guys would have done. It just would have sucked
Yeah. So,
because
like I said,
then a 3 - 2 firepower would have been the time you get Snake Eyes and um I
yeah.
I think the other thing that really killed me, and not even in like a joking way, is the fact that I got absolutely no value out of my sniper, which is a constant problem for my dice. I don't know how many times I need to roll this to get good numbers, but when I roll
Get
three
some ones and
sixes,
twos.
yeah, but when you roll 3 6s in a row, and this is bullshit, like it's just me clicking the button, right? But um,
Yeah.
the fact that I could not like a 1 or a 2 would have been a godsend, because it being here, all your guys having moved up, even when you're back here, like I just need this guy to if it eliminates him, that's it. No more artillery. I can move freely. I don't have to worry about taking shots. Like when this leader
Yeah.
broke, right? When he breaks, it's like okay, well I can't move, or I can't use the -1 to affect, shots against vehicles. If the leader was there and I shot at that guy, that's no longer an immobilization. That's a destroy, right? So it's stuff like
Right.
that.
Totally.
It's just the small stuff of like my guys broke at the wrong time, which whatever you can't. That's like saying I didn't win, whatever. But I think it's really just the dice I needed to uh, get shots in weren't the ones were not the ones I was hoping for, and I'm not sure if the only way to fix it would be to by the time I'm say here and you're in this line, I just need to skedaddle and get into this building. Just say screw it and just run. It's just
So I think it changes a little bit if you are in, especially this Victory Hex building a little earlier. Just because if you imagine these guns, and if this gun was in a slightly different spot, I mean, crossing all this open ground would be tough, and I would have to be throwing my trucks sort of in the middle just to sort of try to get
yeah. But my two hit rolls
uh,
were
some
all
hindrances.
garbage. My two hit rolls were all
Well,
garbage. I didn't roll below 6. Like I think the last one I got was like 4 or whatever.
your
What was my
your
two
hit
hit?
roll was what, average
My
of
la-
6.5, 6.4.
yeah, but it's like a 6.4 isn't doing anything on when I have to use red numbers and stuff. It's just honestly
Yeah.
it's one of those like the fact that they have no rate of fire, they're HE only, like I can only say that uh, in hindsight, though, I would have probably changed J5 to O9 or O4, just so that it can cover the open ground and essentially all these hexes. That'd probably be the only thing to change.
Well, yeah, and then again, my only real like like advice would have been to move the guys up across the street here a turn
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, but I mean,
Um,
that I know. Like, it's just the artillery being where it is annoying, and I think I think maybe it's a gotcha in like against the Chinese, because the more and more I look at it, the more I go like, well, what's the benefit, right? If I have guys here, though, I can only really stop, I guess, this movement. If I had these guys here, I still get street fighting if you go in with vehicles, right?
right, right.
So, and if you move squads, then you'd have to go all the way around, like depending on what your setup is, of course. But you know what I mean? Like by the time you get to here, you have to go open ground. So why not just protect, like have a squad in R2 and there you go, you're done with it. It's the sort of idea of like I think I think it's just a trap to have guys up in that portion. Same thing with kind of feel the same way with like anybody on the upper floor. Like I shouldn't have had a guy up on the upper level here. That screwed me over. If he was on the ground floor, I could have retreated a lot faster with that guy and save a little bit of firepower.
I wondered about him. I mean, the machine gun was nice, but there's just so much in the way,
Well,
and I don't know.
the only reason I had him up there was really just to one minimize V7 just that much more. And
Sure.
if you tried to do say like W6 or you know, I could still cover U9 with it. So it, I felt it had some staying power, but yeah, I think level one is a death trap for the Chinese, especially when you're dealing with how many leaders you got? Six of them, four.
There's so
Uh,
many leaders. They like this scenario's. It's very. It seems super generous for his four leaders
I
to the Japanese.
yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Um, I I'm trying to what's the
What's the roar on this?
I want to say that the advantage was Chinese, which is why I picked it, but I don't understand how I don't
Oh,
understand.
you picked Chinese because the roar was up? Oh, I see how you think about me. I get it
No,
now.
this well,
Damn, damn.
it's also because you had the advantage with the other one. Um, but I'm trying to understand how defenders would have won 37 times over 26, because I really don't see like I don't get how the Japanese player loses so consistently. You're not you're not fighting for like you're fighting for CVP, sure, but I guess if you're a doofus and you sacrifice trucks with infantry on them, then yeah, I guess you want to piss away six CVP every time you lose a truck. But I don't see like I don't see what the benefit of it would be.
That's an interesting question. I don't know. Um,
Like like the only place I could see a gun being like really good up front would be from V4. That way, like you know, if you want to be cute with your trucks, you have to go the long way, like down to Y10 and Y9, and you can still cover like portions of the road. So you know, trucks would have to come in through here, which I don't think they could do anyways.
well,
Maybe
trucks
that's the
can't
play,
cross
but
walls.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you have a gun in W6 and you're covering, you know, Y9 and you cover all the other hexes, I guess, but otherwise I don't really see where else you could put guns. I think the limitation of not being able to put guns in buildings is probably too harsh, but I don't know. Maybe
Well, I
they
mean,
just
how many shots did you even take with those guns?
Uh, five total because this one
Five.
broke on its second shot, and the fifth one would have been in this turn because I took
Right, right.
one each plus intensive fire and like yeah uh short barrel HE only, like you're not if I
Where's
wanted
the
to
other foxhole?
let's see. So I had three.
Three?
I had one and a two.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
There were two one squads.
No.
I feel like anytime I hate defending against the Japanese. I always feel like I'm on the losing end of it. So the Japanese are just tough. They keep coming. And honestly, the Chinese, especially in 1932, are just a little bit fragile with all the conscripts and the B-11s and everything else. So
Honestly, I just see this as a man. I really want to see this
you can human
war.
wave though. Can you human wave?
Uh, I think you would have to use bonsai. No, could you technically
No, no,
use human wave?
you.
Oh, and I
The
wouldn't.
Chinese use human wave.
There's no way I would use human wave. What's the benefit? I get +1 morale. They're auto lax, and like there's no like
Hey, I'm
unless
grasping at straws here. I don't know.
I don't. Honestly, I just really wish that there were other demonstrations of what went on. Like one guy wrote, I didn't get a good feel for this scenario because my opponent's dice were hot. One of his HMGs cost me 4 squads, 2 trucks, and 2 leaders in one movement phase defensive fire phase. With that much of a
Well, that must
setback,
have been a really hot machine gun.
well, one machine gun cost 4 squads. How do you cost 4 squads? Because unless you're blowing up trucks, you're never getting that value, right?
They can
Like,
only have one squad on the truck. So the trucks have 19 portage points. So you can have oh, they have 15. Sorry, you can have a squad and a half squad. That's it.
but that's the thing. Like, how do you destroy in one movement phase, defensive fire phase? You'd have to get. So let's say you kill 2 trucks. Okay, each truck is loaded with 1 squad. So that's 2 trucks, 2 squads. We'll assume that the leaders are also in the trucks. So like you'd have to kill those in subsequent shots. I
That's
really
it's an insanely hot machine gun.
because
I
you
can't
would
even imagine how that happened.
like and because I don't think I kind of wonder like how they played it because just because you destroy the vehicle doesn't mean that you kill the passengers, right? You'd have to roll survival for passengers as well. So
Yeah,
you unless you burned it, which then you're looking at a 3 or less on your rolls. Like man, and yeah, sure. I guess if you're doing snake eyes all the time, like it's super easy to win as Chinese. But um, yeah, like I think it would make a great intro for into PTO for folks interested in PTO. I don't know.
it has
I
nothing to do with the PTO.
I mean it introduces Chinese, I guess, which is a big step because they stripe and all that. Um, I don't know. I think this
Uh,
is a scenario where I would drop uh, 3 squads from the Japanese lineup. 3 squads are a tank because you have nothing to deal with tanks.
you know your kill number on those HMGs is a 4. It's not the
Uh,
best kill number in the world, but
it's a 4 depending on who I attack and what the distance is. If I don't get the right distance, it's down to a 2 because you've got tanks with 2 armor. And like sure, there's hull armor and it'd be 1 or 0 in some cases, but the to kill number is extremely low. I think the HMGs have to shoot it at trucks because they have a way better opportunity to do anything. But yeah, like the balance is replace 3 347s with 4 4 7s on the Japanese side, and on the Chinese side you just swap 3 conscripts for first lines. But that's nothing.
that
Like I
doesn't seem helpful.
yeah, like I don't understand how that helps. So regardless, I mean, for all the griping I have about the scenario at the end of the day, I did enjoy it, especially leading up. By the time of the that we stopped playing the first part, I think I was really enjoying it. Nobody had really taken any losses, and it just you could see the effect of the movement and residual and how claustrophobic the map really feels. And I think that's fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. It's an interesting scenario. It's kind of a puzzle for the Japanese a little bit. Um,
The only reason I
you know, I
disagree is sorry, but sorry to cut, but the only reason I disagree is your guys have very few in terms of striping, and you still had a lot more power to push through.
well, what I mean is, I mean, if you look at the board, trying to find your way through,
Mm,
especially as residual piles up and as vehicles pile up and driving through vehicle hexes, and
mm-hmm.
it is a puzzle for the Japanese to try to figure out. Um, the way the board's set up, like the whole north half of the board is, I felt it was just irrelevant to the Japanese.
Yeah,
I tried the way, especially with the way you set up. I tried so hard to make the north side work, um, or whatever the top part of this.
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
that's technically the east side of the board. But I tried so hard to make that side of the board work, and I just couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do think it seems to me the Japanese are favored here. I don't think it's quite as bad as the last scenario we played.
No, no, the
Um,
other scenario is god awful. I
yeah.
would never suggest anybody play the last one we played.
Um, yeah. I think I don't know. I don't know. I always enjoy playing with you. I think we have a good time.
We do.
Good, good.
I hope that my criticisms um, are taken up as only criticisms of the scenarios, not the way they are played specifically, or not the players in which are play the sides.
Oh, I'm sure I've give you lots of stuff to complain about. I'm fine.
No,
I can
no,
take it.
because like I think a smart player, and I'm not saying this just to blow hot air up my own ass, but I think a smart player realizes like you get diced, you get diced. If you don't have things go your way, like you can't blame your opponent for not moving these idiots across a road and helping out. Um,
Sure.
so it's not the only way for me to complain would be like, Dice chose not to give me snipers. Dice broke all my stuff. I mean, it'd be nice if maybe any of your trucks blew up their machine guns and whatever, but or maybe if you got like engine breakdowns. Although I don't think that would matter, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I do, I do. And you know what? You're a good sport. Like I know scenarios like this can be salt mines, and
Not as much as last one.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I did take 12 CVP off you, off of a 32 limit. So I'm I'm almost at halfway. I could have probably gotten half. Uh, if one of my artillery pieces had done a little bit more work, I could have gotten that to 20. Maybe you're more reluctant to move with units because the potential loss there. It's Yeah, I think if the Chinese player just gets good rolls and translates that to turn 6, by turn 6, hopefully the Japanese player has so many squads striped that then it's really a mind game of who moves where, uh, and how do you accept CVP losses.
I think that you're gonna love playing in the 40s.
Oh, I'm
I
trust me, I
like,
do. I've done like solo playthroughs of not completely because I unfortunately have not gone completely crazy yet. That'll come later. Um, but like I did a solo playthrough of Stalingrad, Red Barricades, but
oh Jesus.
I do it in a way where one, you don't remove stuff from the board between days, which is how you should really play. I don't care what anybody else says. Um, the like the idea that you have an entire line, say down here, and on the next day you can move them all the way over on this side because you just choose to. I think that's lame, so I don't do that. But I also like maximize as many units as you can. So if you can play like Festoon Budapest, you can play the scenario um, by including all four maps, right, and getting the mega
Oh
guy.
yeah, yeah.
So that's what I do. I just pick a day and you just go like, yep. There's no the campaign doesn't end if there's no like if there are days between CGs. Like you just keep playing. That's more fun to me than people just stop fighting for 2 months or whatever. It also
Yeah,
makes losses more fun too.
ugh, I haven't considered that. I'll have to try it. I don't get a chance to play Red Barricades or Festering Budapest much, but
Well, I mean, the only thing I could say would be I'm trying to think of how long because it would take forever to play, but it'd still be possible. So it's like, where's my snare? Sorry, where's my hassles? What's the next hassle I have? War of Flame? Nope. Quad Gaia? Sure. Africa core stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to like mentally justify if I would want to do uh, Valor of the Guards into Red Barricades into Red
Red
Factories.
October.
Yeah,
Oh, Red Factories, yeah.
I mean, I guess technically
That'd
not
be a
count
hell
Red
of a trip,
Barricades, but
man.
yeah, and the only problem is that it's a long thing, right? So
Well, that's I mean, what is it, 30? It's got to be 40 or 50 turns, right?
40 or 50. So um, Red Barricades is 10 turns, I think, per scenario, with a possibility
Oh, well, no,
of
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like campaign days, I mean.
uh, if I remember correctly, Red Barricades is something like 30 or 45.
Okay, so it's like 100 campaign days. So it's like 100 scenarios.
100 scenario days, sure, yeah. Because,
That sounds fun.
and again, like, there's a lot of days that you would probably pass up on to recuperate or whatever, but, uh, yeah, like, there's one campaign goes from the 17th of October to the 15th of November. So essentially a 30-day month. And there's another one that goes a little bit later.
That sounds great.
And oh,
Sign me
that's
up.
what it was. So I don't have it in my online one. I'd have to go through other files I had, but essentially, um, Red Factories has like two of them, and they're on different days. So if you were doing Red Factories, the days are. I had this saved. Where is it? The initial scenario. 17 to 29th of October, 13 CG days. There's another one that's 5. There's a 17 to 15, 30 CG days. Another one's 7. Um, yeah, so there's one that's X tag, the Red October, where they have one that's 9 days, and then a second one that's 5 days, and then a third one that's in December, so like even further in, and is 16 CG days. So the idea would be to combine both since they occur on the same days. So you would start with the Red Barricades, and then if something happens, like I tend to do something where like if the German player gets beyond a certain point or whatever, it just auto activates the Red October part of the campaign. So you could trip it early if you thought you could get an advantage, but it might also hurt you because you got to spend that many more days trying to grab stuff, right?
Right.
So, anyways, all to say that like then you're running literally two campaigns in the same spot, and instead of two snipers, it'd be four snipers total. You you'd have to like, and you have to do stuff where it's like, uh, I would do stuff like I'd roll sniper, and if I'd roll snipers, and it'd be either the top or bottom. So you'd roll two sniper checks, and then if the north one got it, then you'd roll to see which one got it, and then you could get ties. And anyways, it just makes snipers like even more crazy and deadly.
Do you roll any better?
Yes, because I have more opportunities to. Uh, but typically my stuff, I will always get bad rolls. I will always complain about bad rolls, but
Well, you got to complain about something. I certainly wouldn't complain about the company. So
yeah, like there's I just sent you one an image of uh, this was this is or like day four, part three. So you can imagine how long it took me to get there with all this crap.
good lord.
Yeah. So imagine playing that, and the viewer does not get the benefit, unfortunately. So apologies. Actually, I'll just end the stream here. Bye.